Hello, this is Drew. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Real Talk today. Here at Real Talk, we talk about relationships, that's true. But we also like to talk about other factors that could affect our everyday lives. Let's see what's going on with this border thing with Trump. I think a lot of us already know that he signed an executive order to close the borders, but let's get an idea of exactly what's going on.
President Trump signing a stack of executive orders yesterday, making good on a major campaign promise, tackling illegal immigration. Let's bring in the new border czar to the president, Tom Homan, also the former acting ICE director. So, Tom, we were expecting, based on your initial schedule, that today roundups of criminal illegal aliens and the process of deporting them would begin. That seems to have been put on hold for a little while. When can we expect that to happen? Where will it begin?
No, it started. It
has started.
ICE teams are out there as of today. We gave them the direction to prioritize public safety threats that we're looking for. So we've been working up the target list. There was some discussion about Chicago because the specific operational plan was released. So we had to look at and reevaluate, does this raise officer safety concerns? And it does. But we've addressed that, and teams are out there effective today.
So critics were saying, okay, you're going to round up people's abuela, their grandmother, and ship them back to where they emigrated from. Who are the people that you're targeting, at least in this initial phase?
Right out of the gates, public safety threats. Those who are in the country illegally that's been convicted or arrested for a serious crime.
Well, as you heard him, they're going to, like I said, anybody that's illegal, you got locked up or anything going on as far as the law, and you came over here and just started terrorizing and whatnot, they're saying that you're going to be one of the first ones that they're going to make get up out of here. Basically, CNN is talking about, say the U.S. border has effectively closed off all immigrants seeking asylum in the U.S. within 24 hours of President Donald Trump taking office. Said this is an extraordinary departure from the previous protocols that have left so many concerned immigrants in limbo. Basically, now it's a situation where they don't have to wonder, you're trying to get over here illegally, or you got over here illegally, or you came over and seek asylum. It just looks like you're going to get sent back.
It's not only public safety threats that will be arrested, because in sanctuary cities, we're not allowed to get that public safety threat in the jail, which means we got to go to the neighborhood and find him. And when we find him, he may be with others. And unlike the last administration, we're not going to tell ICE officers not to arrest an illegal alien. So if they find others, they'll be arrested. So sanctuary cities are going to get exactly what they don't want: more agents in the neighborhood and more collateral arrests.
President Trump signed a number of executive orders, as we pointed out, on illegal immigration. Here's what he signed. He declared a national border emergency, ended birthright citizenship, ended catch and release, reinstated remain in Mexico, designated cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, deployed active troops to the southern border, and end the use of the CBP One app, which many people were using to schedule interviews to claim asylum here in the United States. I want to take a couple of those, but let's first of all go with this idea of ending birthright citizenship. It's enshrined in the 14th Amendment. How, with an executive order, can the president change that?
Well, first of all, President Trump's a game changer. Every one of the executive orders we worked on, and these are game changers. This is going to give us the most secure border in my lifetime. So great for him to do that. Birthright citizenship is a major driver of illegal immigration. I know I've done this over 3 decades. One of the first things an illegal alien does when they get here is get birth to U.S. citizen child, because I think that makes him immune from our laws, right? So even if he goes to immigration court and loses his case, even though he's in the country illegally, he's convicted of a crime and gets to order removal, they think that the fact to have a U.S. citizen child would make him immune. We can't send that message to the whole world that you can enter our country illegally, which is a crime, you commit another crime, and you can even get removed by an immigration judge after expensive due process. But if you have a U.S. citizen child, you're off the hook. We can't send that message. We'll never fix the border.
Right, but the 14th.
Sound like this guy been waiting on somebody like Trump to get in. You heard what he said? He said, hey, we ain't playing. Y'all gonna have to go. Now, I want you all to comment below what you all think about this, because, I got, mixed emotions. I don't think anybody should be able to come over illegally and basically benefit from, welfare program, government assistance, things like that, when a lot of Americans can use that money themselves. I don't agree with that. I think that we should take care of our own first, and before we start, letting everybody else come in. But let's continue with what he got to say about it. Let him go ahead and explain this thing.
The 8th Amendment does not differentiate between somebody who's in this country legally or illegally.
But I'm not an attorney, but I don't think the 14th Amendment enshrines that at all. We have just as many legal scholars, constitutional scholars, say it doesn't really say that. So what President Trump is taking that action, we'll let Supreme Court decide that.
Well, it's definitely going to go to the Supreme Court. I don't think there's any question of that. Designating the cartels in Mexico and elsewhere as foreign terrorist organizations. This is something that previous administrations have resisted doing because of the potential impact with the Mexican government. What tools does that give you that you don't have now to go after these cartels?
Well, first of all, I've been pushing for this for a long time because these the criminal cartels in Mexico have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined, right? Record number of sex trafficking women and children, but the drugs, the fentanyl has killed over 250,000 Americans. So they need to be terrorist organizations. But that puts a whole weight of the United States government on them. Not only are we just going to deal with the operations of Mexico, but the Jalisco cartels in 43 countries around the world. So we'll work with other world leaders to attack this cartel all over the world and bring them to their knees. That has to be done.
So we've got some more violence, this time on the northern border.
Now, did you hear what he said? About these cartels and whatnot. So basically they're bringing in this fentanyl or whatnot. And, he specifically said that that's a drug that usually, affects them a lot more than us, seems like. And if so, that's the only ones we see it on the news talking about it. They don't want to have, their part, their race basically took down by all these drugs. They got to get them up out of here now. We've been dying from crack and all that over the years, and there's been a whole lot of war on drugs and all this stuff, but not a lot has been gotten done. But, bring that fentanyl on here, it's time to, hey, we got to have to get them up out of here. Let's continue.
Border Patrol agent David Malin was killed. The acting DHS Secretary Benjamin Huffman said this: a Border Patrol agent assigned to the U.S. Border Patrol's Swanton sector was fatally shot in the line of duty. This incident is being swiftly investigated, and DHS will release additional information as soon as it becomes available. We've been focused so much on the southern border, but we've also, here at Fox, talked about the northern border. But this is something the Biden administration basically ignored for 4 years.
Yeah, the crossings in the northern border, especially in that area where the officer was killed, the crossings are up 600% of special interest aliens. We got a lot of people from India, Pakistan, Turkey, people that can afford to go to Mexico and sneak across the northern border, which is much easier. For the agent, my heart breaks. My 3.5 decades, I buried Border Patrol agents, I buried ICE agents, and it's a sad day for all of us. And so, God bless his family, and we'll help them through that. But a terrible northern border is not going to be underlooked by the Trump administration. We realize they're understaffed. We realize that the numbers are up 600%. So we're going to address that along the southwest border.
Oh boy, he ready to go.
We'll be talking with Paul Perez, the head of the National Border Patrol Council, about that as well. He was one of Halen was one of his members.
Well, I guess you hear that. Like I said, he sound like Trump got the right guy. Because like I said, he talking about how, basically the Biden administration didn't do anything about, all this illegal going back and forth across the border or whatnot. And be honest, I'm not that much into politics, but I honestly feel we need to know what's going on around us. If it's anything that's going on that may affect our daily lives or whatnot, especially as taxpaying citizens, where our money is going, and basically who's coming in and taking our jobs. I think that America should take care of itself first. I look at America, I bring it down to a household. If me and my family is, in the home and, I don't have but one chicken, I can't take that chicken and feed the other people and my family starve. I got to take care of my family first. But anywho, let's get back to it.
So let me just come back to where we started. So roundups are happening today. Can you tell us where and how many people?
Not roundups.
Or deportations? Well, how would you characterize it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Targeted enforcement operation. When we target the public safety threats, we know exactly who we're looking for. Pretty good idea where they're at. We even know sometimes who lives in the household with them.
Okay, so give us the scope of what's happening today, and if you can tell us where it's happening.
It's happening all over the country. I can't tell you specific locations because of officer safety concerns, but ICE officers throughout the country were told today, go make arrests of those here illegally that have a public safety problem. Public safety threat. So they've developed target sheets, an operational plan that they go out in the field, the whole team goes, 5 or 6 guys go on a team for officer safety, reach, cover the back door, cover the front door. So they're out there right now looking for the most serious public safety threats throughout the country. we're putting them back to work.
And how many of those serious public health, serious public safety threats do you think will be apprehended today?
I have no idea, but we have over 700,000 illegal aliens with criminal records walking the streets of this country. That's what we're looking for right now.
All right. Well,
my thoughts is it's about time. Seriously. You're going to hear me say this over and over in a lot of situations. No, I was at the grocery store maybe a month ago, and illegal lady, you know, and I don't have a problem with people having, you know, needing some help or whatnot. But, you know, she was in there with her food stamp card, and I guess she dropped her receipt, didn't realize she had left it or whatnot. But when I, you know, go to the grocery store, you know, and I got a pack of bologna and some eggs trying to, you know, kind of keep things together, and, you know, I see somebody that hadn't been here over a couple of months, and the only reason I knew that because I could hear her talking to somebody else and whatnot. And you look at her receipt, and she had, you know, $20,000-$30,000 worth of cash and food stamp money on one card. That's what it basically said was on her receipt or whatnot. I think that's ridiculous when you got people over here that are sick, can't work. Now, I'm not talking about people just lazy, but I'm saying some people are really disabled. They can't go to work. You know, they may have diabetes or something where they're losing limbs, or they may have some type of chronic illness, knees out, where they can't walk, whatever the case may be. I don't think that our resources should be sent out and given to people just because they got over here illegally. And then the people that have been here and suffered, the people that are loyal to the country or whatnot, I don't think that it should be a situation where they just get left behind. To me, it's like a veteran type situation. You know, some of the veterans, you know, these guys, I salute them, you know, because I don't know if I could have went over there, you know, with a whole lot of bullets flying over top of my head. But these guys get some of the worst treatment. My son is a veteran, and when he goes to the VA, a lot of times, you know, they, you know, talk to you any kind of way, make you wait all day, you know, don't want to give you medication that you need. You know, you're basically treated like a second-class citizen after you done, you know, went over, you know, when they sign you up, they be like, you know, hey, glad to have you or whatnot. We're going to take care of you. But from what I've heard from, you know, my son and other veterans, it doesn't seem like, you know, they're getting, you know, taken care of very well when they get back here. They're basically treated like, you know, like a bum. And I don't think that that's fair. But anywho, we're going to wrap this one up, and I'm going to be back at the next one. We're going to continue on this subject for a minute because I want to dig a little deeper exactly what Trump plans on doing and what's going on in the country. I'll see you on the next one.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy.